It's gonna be a little different video for me. I'm trying to do something my mom taught me how to do 40 years ago. See if I can remember. Let's see. I know it's a black jacket and I'm using white thread, but and I'm cutting my threads with a knife. But one of the seams on my favorite jacket come unseamed and stitched. So, well, I say favorite light jacket. Machine is not like my mom's old Singers, but let's see. Hand don't go through the pocket no more, so I say that was a success. Alright, I'm going to pause y'all because I got another jacket I'm going to sew up. So let me pause y'all. Alright, I got it. This jacket I took to my mom to have her put a new zipper on it. She got started on it, but she passed away before she could finish. So I'm going to see if I can finish it. Never sewed a zipper in. There's an inner pocket in here that I got to try to. Let's see. Well, I'm going to have to take that apart and restretch it. Because it didn't turn out how I wanted it. And I have a spot where I completely missed. Remember when I was a kid, my mom made homemade coat for one of my brothers. He wanted a blue jean jacket, so she made him one. She went and bought the material, the flannel lining and everything, but what he wanted was the Levi's jacket. Oh, he was not happy with it. But what she made him was a jacket that was nicer than ones you could buy at the store. And there was even numerous ones we went to school with that were commented about it, wish their mom would make them something like that. But for us, it was the norm. Mom making some clothes for us. They just didn't realize how much of our clothes was homemade. It's not because we couldn't afford clothes. Mom was actually a seamstress. At one point, she had her business going for it. For a while, she made them. Hold on, I'll pause y'all for a sec. All right, I'm back. Had to pause it for a sec. Got an old elderly dog. She needed out. Don't have a good seam ripper handy. And my nosy assistant wants to ensure I'm doing everything correctly. Alright, so I'm going to try pinning this back up again. Get the one that fell on the floor first. If I don't, I'll forget about it and step on it and have that thing stuck in my foot. A lot of people seem to think, you know, when we're growing up, because that parents taught us to grow up the way country people had for hundreds of years, to be self-sufficient, how to make the things we needed ourselves. Or grow what we needed. So my mom taught me and my brothers how to sew, and my dad taught my sister how to do a lot of tasks people viewed as men's tasks. They wanted to make sure we knew how to survive. You know, things that used to be considered basic life skills. things now. It's funny as I see people doing the stuff, and it's like, it's, oh, it's off-grid living or survivalists. No. It's traditional life skills that so many people have forgotten. Well, sewing stuff is easier when you don't have a cat that crawled in what you're sewing up. Let me get the camera focused back on the sewing machine. Set the cat down. I actually just leave her up here in my lap while I rethread this back into the feet of the sewing machine. What I'm doing is adjusting the position of the needle so that everything runs how I want it instead of feeding how it wants to. You know, back when they used to teach home economics in school, me and my brothers, many ones, different ones of us, we come in there and enrolled in it because it was easy grade. Because our mom had taught us to cook, how to sew, and the stuff they were teaching. So we went in there. Unlike most males took the course, we actually stopped, take the needle out. Actually able to do well at the course. So when I was younger, my mom would make a lot of dolls and, you know, make formal dresses like wedding dresses, prom dresses, stuff like that for people around. They'd come to her and we had one woman come to my mom and always have her make dresses for her. And she told my mom one day she chooses her to make all her dresses because she only one that ever made a dress that was actually comfortable for her to wear. That didn't just hang on her body like she was wearing some kind of bed sheet. She's a little heavy set woman, but she is a nice woman. Had the fabric starting to bunch up again, so I think what I need is get some of the stuff my mom used to talk about when she'd sew certain fabrics that she needed stitch wedge. So I need to go find me a sewing shop if there's one still around. But I got a couple other things I need to sew up. Well, it bunched up in a couple of spots, but feed it back through so I can double stitch it if I can get it back in here. Well, that's a little different from the old singers my mom had. Those singers my mom had, when you'd hit the thing up, the foot come up about an inch, inch and a half off the pad. This thing barely comes up. Looking at it, you can move it and it comes up, gives you about an inch clearance. Also won't let you start sewing until the pressure foot's down. When you sew, you got to maintain positive pressure. Get it to pull through. And have a cat in the camera. I'm going to try a zigzag stitch. Just because I'm curious what it'll do on this machine. I know what it did look like on an old Singer. Kind of like the looks of that zigzag stitch better than that straight stitch as far as sewing a zipper. I guess it's triple stitched. Now, zipper head's out of the way. Put this pressure foot back down. Not going to be pretty, but I'm not wearing the coat for as a fashion statement. I'm wearing it to stay warm. So now, true test of the quality of my sewing. Does it zip up? Well, not exactly straight, but it worked. I call that a win. This jacket I got from a previous employer. One of the layers of jackets they wanted us to wear when it got cold at work. They'd zip up. It's funny, they'd zip up into 3 different layers, or make 3 separate jackets, but you could zip them, put them into each other, and zip them up, and they'd make one really well-lined warm coat. Which was good for below freezing days. Collar's come unstitched. Might as well get that while I'm here. Remember, my mom had an old, one of the old, what are they called, treadle style singers. Supposedly it'd been her, like a great grandmother's or somebody's. You had to pump the thing with your feet. Remember when me, a couple of my brothers and my sister, when we were little, my mom would sit down sewing at it. And she'd be sewing away, and we used to like to get down there and help her with working the pedal. So we'd see how fast we could get it going. So she'd be sewing along, and all of a sudden the sewing machine would suddenly be going 200 miles an hour. Which for us was a fun challenge to see how fast we could make it go. For her, probably not so. Not necessarily my prettiest work, but good enough for me. I'm sure if I was to use it more sewing stuff, I'll get as good as I was when I was growing up. Oh. Well, I should have sewed under. Oh well. I can take care of that real quick. Pocket's supposed to be stitched under the zipper. Didn't quite make it, but there's always an easy fix for that. Now if I was using black thread instead of the white thread, the machine was already loaded up with. All those stitches wouldn't be noticeable. Yeah. You know the old saying, you ride the horse you saddled. we go. You're not hiding any needles down there, are you? Yes, you are, Kitty. Oh. You don't have to get mad at me because I took the needles away from you. But I got another jacket to wear. All right, y'all have a good day and hope y'all enjoyed this video.